Rockhopper here, and I'm going to Australia. That's right, I was leaving the big donut la-la land of Los Angeles, heading to the land down under of Australia. What would I encounter? I wasn't really sure. I hoped to see a beautiful landscape, see fascinating wildlife, and meet friendly people. We're here in LA, and we're into the airport. That's Frank, and that's Tommy back there. Leaving LA. Alright, we're on the Metrolink heading toward the airport. There's Frank up there, there's Tommy right there. This hat's going back to where it came from. I'm gonna have to try and sleep on the flight. It's an overnight sort of flight, so I have trouble sleeping on airplanes. I don't know about you guys. Does anybody else have that problem? It just seems really difficult. On the plane, heading to Sydney, and I'm sitting next to Jake. He's a cool dude, and it's a lot more fun when you got a good adventurous type sitting right next to you like this guy, because he is going on a 10-day trip down a river in Tasmania, and he's also done 20 days going down the Colorado through the Grand Canyon. So we've got a lot to talk about here. It's nice. As expected, I only got about an hour and a half's worth of sleep by the time we were approaching Sydney. The suburbs of the city spread out below far and wide, the Aussie version of Los Angeles. This wasn't my final destination, however. I would be moving onward to Coffs Harbour to the north. Made it to Sydney. I'm pretty tired. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep on the plane as I expected, so I look pretty bad, I guess. But and let me tell you a little story. So I was supposed to have somebody at the next stop where I'm going, Coffs Harbour. I'm going to fly up there, connecting flight from Sydney. I'm supposed to have what I thought was a friend come up and get me, but it turns out my friend has some mental issues and puts on a good face when he wants to look like a nice guy, but yeah, he's not so much of a nice guy, because he was willing to abandon me at the airport. He basically did that before I even got to the airport. So I was abandoned before I got to that airport. So there is somebody else who is coming to my rescue, and I'm going to show you who that is real soon. I flew onward to Coffs Harbour, which I wouldn't have done except for my now ex-friend convincing me to come visit him. I had tried to change the airline ticket, but Qantas said that wasn't an option unless I wanted to cancel the current one and buy another. At least I had a bird's-eye view of the landscape below, which was quite scenic. Maybe it's best that my friend reneged on all his promises. I wouldn't want to hang out with someone who's untrustworthy. It's disheartening to realize, though, it was just an act for 11 years. So the guy who I thought was my buddy, the guy who pretty much convinced me to come to Australia, turned out to be unreliable, unpredictable, and unstable, and was a big heaping helping of bipolar with a side order of narcissism. So he won't be coming here to pick me up, as he had promised, but there is somebody else who is going to show up soon. Hey! Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you. Australia is known for creating big roadside decor like these giant bananas. Looks like I had traded the big donut for the big banana. Welcome to Australia. Check out all these gum trees at the side of the road. Heading to Daniela's house in Glen, a couple hours inland from the coast, I was surprised at how lush and green everything was. This wasn't the image I'd had of the country. I had pictured a drier place. For the next 5 months, I would be exploring this continent with no specific plan or itinerary, or list of places to see. I would just rely on what people suggested or what sounded interesting to me. This was a landscape that was completely new to me, and the animals that inhabited it as well. Feeding the lorikeets in Australia certainly is a colorful bird, isn't it? Look at the beautiful colors on those birds. Rainbow lorikeets. About halfway between Brisbane and Sydney. I'm here in Daniela's backyard in Glen, Australia, and what do you think these sounds are? Are these toads? I've cooked up an omelet for us, and it looks pretty good. What do you reckon, Daniela? Yeah?
Delicious.
What do you think? How's it taste?
Very nice, thank you.
Too good for doggies?
Yes, no, she can't have any.
Look at these dogs just hanging around, waiting for something. Too bad for them, eh? I walked around the neighborhood and saw cows, sheep, and even llamas. This is the first time in my life I've seen kangaroos in the wild. The main difference between a wallaby and a kangaroo is size, with kangaroos being much larger, up to 6 feet tall, and are built for speed in open grasslands, while wallabies are smaller, more compact, and agile for forests or rocky areas. Wallabies also often have more colorful coats, whereas kangaroos have muted uniform colors, and their diets differ. Kangaroos graze grass. Wallabies browse leaves, ferns, and moss. That's a kookaburra right there in the tree. There's a saying down under, more laughs than a gum tree full of kookaburras, because they make quite a squawk, like a laughing sort of squawk. It's a cold summer day in December here down under, and we are heading to a place that really rocks. Look, sheep. I think we're at a place called Stonehenge Recreational Preserve, and there are quite a few sheep down under here in Australia. That's a galah, that bird right there, and they make quite a bit of noise at times. They're pretty birds, got a bit of pink, as you can see. Magpie. These noisy birds are called corellas. I'd heard cockatoos flying overhead, their calls sounding like mini pterodactyls. I'm not sure what kind of ant that is. It might be what they call a bull ant. Quite large, about 1.5 inches. We're in Glen, and this is an old tavern called the Red Lion. It looks kind of historic maybe, but it's no longer in operation. This is Glen. It's a historic town. I'm not exactly sure how to say this, but I think it's the Narrabul, who were the original inhabitants of the land around Glen Innes. Jindaijin was their name for it, meaning plenty of big round stones on clear plains. Maybe that's the reason they have circular stones along the main street. Either that, or people in Glen Innes just like to say they have balls. Founded in 1851 on a stock station, it became a municipality in 1872. Glen Innes is located high in the New England range at an elevation of about 1,062 meters, near the crest of the range. The local economy is primarily based on agriculture such as beef, cattle, sheep, and lambs, as well as wool production and beekeeping. I was pleasantly surprised when I first saw the town, a historic little place with shops and the ubiquitous pubs. Daniela's going to cook me up some kangaroo meat, so that's what's in the pan right now. Never had it before. That's a very Australian meal, of course. Where did you manage to find kangaroo meat?
At the local supermarket.
I'm going to try just a little piece of it to see what it tastes like. The meat has been cooked up, so I'll try out this kangaroo. Alright, kangaroo meat, first time ever. It's really not bad at all. Kind of tastes like maybe a cross between venison and beef. Yeah. The kangaroo meat is mostly for the dogs. That's the purpose of it. But this kangaroo meat is actually fit for human consumption, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're cooking the rest here for the dogs. And the dogs are eagerly awaiting their dinner.
Yes, they love it.
They absolutely love kangaroo meat.
Oh yeah.
We have very excited little doggies about to get their kangaroo feed.
Kangaroo and roast pumpkin and sweet potato.
Yeah, it looks good enough for people to eat. Yum, doggies are going to be happy.
Okay, Eden, Roxy, and Rosie.
All right, we have happy dogs and they are seriously chowing down. Oh yeah. Go crazy. Looks like Walter may have barfed. This is what art in the park looks like in Glen. Daniela is a talented, creative type of person who paints these pictures. And she's got one on the little easel right now. We went to the grocery store to pick up a few things. Many of the fruits and vegetables are grown in Australia. There are the tropical fruits such as mangoes, bananas, papayas, and others. People often have plum trees, apricots, cherries, and numerous other fruits growing in their yard. Numerous veggies like tomatoes and zucchini are common. And these shopping carts are called trolleys over in Aussie. And this is a self-checkout. There's a variety of fresh tropical type fruit grown in Australia. You've got mangoes, you've got these bananas which have some wax on there, which I guess indicates some sort of eco-organic fruit, and some limes and lemons, and there are many other fruits grown here as well. Papayas too, like this one. Hello doggies. Hello. Hello. Yes, this is my greeting every morning. We're here in Armadale and we're having some pizza, and Daniela's you're having a sandwich. So the pizza looks pretty good. This is a barbecue chicken pizza. Got chunks of chicken and it's got some crunchy cheese and a tasty barbecue sauce, and she's got the big fat sandwich, which she's eaten most of it so far, but
Yes, now I'm big and fat.
now she's going to get big and fat too. No, I hope not. She's pretty slender and fit. I'm going to take a shot at driving. I'm going to be driving on the left-hand side of the road, so it's going to be different for me, and it's out on a country road, so it shouldn't be too bad. And we'll head on down the highway here. This is the countryside we're going through, heading back to Glen. I'm trying not to freak Danny out over here. So far, it's been a good drive. Learning to drive on the left. The town hall transforms at night into an illuminated wonder of Christmas lights. Down under, the moon presents a different face than in the northern hemisphere, and when darkness comes, the creatures of the night become active. This is what Tasmanian devils sound like. Today, Daniela's making Anzac biscuits, and you may wonder what those are, and I'll tell you what that is. But first, let's tell you what's inside the Anzac biscuits. Here's the ingredients list right here. Anzac biscuits are named after the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, the soldiers who fought in World War I, as they were popular food sent to troops because they lasted well in transit and provided energy. Getting it all kneaded together, putting them in the pan. You can see they're about that big. And they should taste really good. And here we have the finished product. Looking pretty tasty. Anzac biscuits and a cup of tea, a delightful treat for the afternoon. My walks around the neighborhood gave me a glimpse into Aussie life. I saw pretty fields of flowers and farmers checking in on their cattle or their sheep. Maybe you'd like to buy some sheep manure. Inquire within. I went for a walk and I came back to this, and very surprised. She never had a discussion with me. This is the woman who was totally screwed over by her husband and the guy who screwed me over at the airport, so obviously she is feeling not very happy. So she left me a note and put all my stuff out here unexpectedly. As I was heading out for a walk, she rushed to the door and asked if I had the key. "You can leave it with me," she said. "I'll be here." I thought, this is a bit odd, and went for my walk. When I returned, there was a typewritten note and all my belongings set outside a house with the blinds shut and no doubt a locked door. This was a very premeditated act. I had tried to be kind, caring, and nurturing, the opposite of what she said her ex-husband was. I gave her dog training for her 3 pooches. I cooked meals for her, and since I was formerly a massage therapist, gave her upper body massages several times. In the note it said that she didn't think I was serious enough about getting a car, and stated that she didn't want to be filmed. She didn't seem to care initially, but apparently changed her mind. I only took one more clip, not of her, but of her hands, after that. I was going to buy a couple of bottles of wine and some food to celebrate finding a car, but I never got that chance. Nobody is perfect and everybody has their quirks. Daniela described herself as an introvert and loner. Tossing people's belongings out the door without warning or discussion is not normal behavior. All I can do is wish her well and hope that someday she can find healing and happiness. The way I looked at it is that maybe I got the messiness out of the way at the beginning and the rest of the trip would be good. That was the day the drama ended and the adventure began. A U.S.-born guy named Scott was going to sell me his 4-wheel drive, which was perfect for my purposes. He pulled up to the National Park Center in Glen to pick me up and take me down the road to the country's highest caravan park in Gyra, at about 1,340 meters high. Tell me about some dangers.
Sharks, sea snakes, stonefish, little tiny jellyfish that can make you pretty sick. But your main danger anywhere, at home, whatever country you're in, is going to be the humans.
What sort of humans?
Self-destructive types, the ones to watch. If somebody is destroyed themselves and you're helping them, you know, to make sure that they can be helped. If you're trying to help someone who's trying to destroy themselves, you're going to bring out their contrast between your nurturing and their destruction, which can be confronting, and all of a sudden you're the bad guy because you're helping them when they can't even help themselves.
If you think it's all hot and sunny in Australia all the time in the summer, well, think again. I'm hunkered underneath a gum tree right now, and it's hailing and raining hard. The Gyra Cemetery. It's a very ornately carved headstone there. Floral design. I heard about the infamous flies in Australia, and yeah, they're pretty bad. They just like to fly around your face a lot, and they don't really bite or anything, so I'm not sure if they're trying to get moisture from your eyes or what they're trying to do, but there are a lot of them around here, and I'm not even in the outback where apparently they're even worse. And they tickle when they crawl across your face. Most of the yards here seem rather unimaginative, as they're just flat, plain lawns. This is the first snake I've seen, and I suppose, luckily, it's dead because it's probably venomous, and they say they can be anywhere around here, and this one, as you can see, is right in a residential area. While at the caravan park, I got my first small taste of the Australian bush when I found a small forest park at the edge of town. There I watched one of my favorite Aussie birds, the kookaburra, and heard their funny jungle bird-like calls. They say when one door closes, another one opens, and that's exactly what happened. One door definitely shut on me, and in the same day, another door opened wide. In this case, a car door. It's now official. I am the proud owner of this van, the four-wheel drive van that I will be using, the 2003 Mitsubishi Delica. Inside it, there is a bed so I can sleep on there comfortably. It's a nice mattress. I've already tried it out. I've been sleeping in here for the past several days while waiting and trying to figure out how to transfer the funds. But I transferred them and it looks like it's successful. So he's got the money, we've drawn up a contract. I will own this for the next 4 months and then I will return it for a 50% buyback offer. And so that's going to be a great way for me to get around the country and explore, because it does have high clearance, it does have four-wheel drive, it's perfect for my needs, and I'm hoping to see a whole lot of really cool places in Australia while I'm here, and this should help me do that. So I've been staying here at the caravan park in Guyra, and you might wonder what exactly is a caravan park. Well, it's like a campground. It basically is one. It's that caravans down under are pull-along trailer sort of things like the ones you're going to see behind me, and there's also some residence sort of places that people can rent, you know, like workers from Tonga. They're working in the tomato greenhouses and whatnot, so they're staying in little hut type situations with, I mean, they have showers and there's a cookhouse down here and all that good stuff. People can travel and then park in here for the night and, you know, pay whatever the fee is, and you can have a nice little stay. And it's got electric, water, all that good stuff. You wouldn't know it looking at today and all the good sunshine and warmth, but just a couple days ago it was raining a lot. And it rained for pretty much 2 days straight. The first day kind of off and on, heavy thunderstorms. And the second day it rained pretty much from sunup to sunset and actually got cold, which you do not expect that in Australia in the summer, right? You think of the outback and the hot and the dry, but no, it was pouring rain, heavy for that whole day. And it was kind of rough. I didn't expect that at all. Fresh cherries in December. It's summer down under, so fresh fruit right off the trees, and that's going to be pretty tasty. We're customizing the van at Sundance there, and he's helping with this. We'll get a platform that we can put the bed on. Sundance is pouring some homemade wine, so we'll see how that tastes.
Last bit.
Yep. Orange wine, right?
Yes, yes. A bit of orange.
All right. It's a type of orange wine, so let's try it out.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
What do you think? It's got a hint of orange for sure.
Yeah, a little bit of acidity.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
With the payment transferred and a custom platform built for the van, it was time to head out, at least for a little while I waited for the batteries for my drone to arrive, as they were accidentally sent to my American address rather than Australia as I had requested, so they were resent. It was a rough start, but hopefully things will get better. Now, the real adventure begins. Don't forget to give me a like on the video, share, and subscribe. Until next time, this is the Rockhopper. See ya.